Okay, I am utterly furious about this. I cannot believe it. Prince Harry has been able to, I believe, manipulate his father, manipulate a hard left Labour government and an Islamist Home Secretary, and he is going to make you, the British taxpayer, me, the British taxpayer, pay for his security and indeed pay for his paranoia. Because that's what it is. Harry wasn't under threat on his last visit, as he claims. He had a female fan who had travelled the world to see him. God knows why, especially with those balding locks. God knows why. But for some reason, this female fan travels all over the world to get close to Prince Harry. There she is, a black woman, it seems. He has many who do travel, including to Africa, to be with him, have never threatened him physically, have never had any weapons on them, have never threatened to shoot him or to bomb him or to do anything like that. But this has now been used by Harry's team in order to secure government-funded security. Armed security anytime he wants to come here. And by the way, the only reason he wants to come here, and everyone needs to realize this, is because his career has collapsed in the United States of America. Meghan Markle's dream of becoming a Hollywood billionaire in America has collapsed. It's over. The staff are leaving. The rats are abandoning this sinking ship. So Prince Harry has now come up with a fake story about a female stalker in order for us to have to cough up for him to visit our country when we don't even want him here. Remember, he accused us all of being racist. Do you remember that? It's an unbelievable situation, and we're going to get into what it really means with Lauren the Insider imminently. But first, I want to take you through this new reporting from Charlotte Griffiths. In recent months, she has become the propagandist-in-chief for the Sussexes in the Mail on Sunday over the weekend, where she revealed that the stalker scare means he is now nailed on to be given armed police guards for UK visits. It's honestly so infuriating. We're paying for this? Why? But Charlotte Griffiths writes, Prince Harry has won his fight for automatic taxpayer-funded armed police protection when he visits the UK, according to sources close to the Sussexes. A ruling in the Duke's favour, expected to be announced within weeks, could allow for a reunion between King Charles and his grandchildren Archie and Lily, who live in the US. Sources close to the Sussexes told the Mail on Sunday that the reinstatement of armed security has been assured after a fresh risk assessment was carried out for the Royal and VIP Executive Committee, RAVIC. They said it's now a formality. Sources at the Home Office have indicated that security is now nailed on for Harry. Harry was provided with police protection for only one day on a trip to the UK for a children's charity event. A female stalker who had previously made threats online, okay, let's see the evidence of that, please, was able to access a secure zone there. Harry was said to have felt abandoned 2 days later without police protection when the same woman got within a stone's throw of him at another engagement and attempted to approach him. It fell to a member of the Duke's private staff, who was ex-army, to step in and protect him. Well, protect him from what? Protect him from what exactly? Because unless she was armed, I think this was just a crazy fan. Because you'd have to be goddamn crazy to travel all over the world to see Prince Harry, so I agree with that. The article goes on, his timely intervention where he managed to body block the woman was one of several security lapses that were included as evidence to be flagged to the Risk Management Board, which advises RAVIC. According to sources, Risk Management Board members have now decided that the Duke does meet the threshold for protection, leaving RAVIC with little choice but to approve his request. A source said on Saturday the only thing that could scupper his approval now would be an intervention from the palace. That, however, seems increasingly unlikely given signs of rapprochement between the Duke and his father. Charles is said to be very keen to meet his Californian-based grandchildren on home soil again. The King last met Archie and Lily when they visited the UK as part of the late Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee celebrations in February 22. At that time, Archie was 2 and Lily was 6 months old. A source close to the Sussexes said, "We aren't taking anything for granted. Obviously, given he's the king's son, it's the right thing to do. But it's about everyone being able to save face, and the risk management board is the common sense way to do that. If you knew about the kind of threats Harry and his children have been getting, then you would understand why he doesn't want to bring the kids over until police protection is granted." Meghan is not expected to join Harry on a visit to the UK next month, when he is set to give evidence in a court case involving Associated Newspapers. A spokesman for the Sussexes said, "We can't comment on security matters." A government spokesman said the UK government's protective security system is rigorous and proportionate. "It is our long-standing policy not to provide detailed information on those arrangements, as doing so could compromise their integrity and affect individuals' security." Well, I'm sorry, I'm calling bullshit on this. I don't think the stalker provided any threat to Harry. I don't think there has been any clear and present threat to Harry, because if there were, he would have had police protection. That is the reality. When there was a terror threat against Taylor Swift, she received full armed police protection. The same thing should apply to Prince Harry. He shouldn't have it guaranteed so that he can come to this country and prance around as if he's a royal again, when he's made it very clear that he hates everything the royal family is about, and he hates everything that this country is about. And as for the stalker, I'm with According to Taz, who posted they never once mentioned a stalker in all of their interviews. Then one miraculously starts turning up only in the UK when his demands for security shut down. It was a setup. In my opinion, Harry will be given guards for UK visits. Insiders claim, well, that's ridiculous. Let's also not forget the Sussex camp also say a lot of things that doesn't make it true. And the Royal News Network made a very good point here. If Prince Harry does win his taxpayer-funded security back, he will be even less popular than he already is, along with his wife and kids. There's no appetite for Harry in the UK, nor does Meghan want to go back. This will not fix his marriage or his issues within the royal family. It also again highlights the overall problem with Harry and Meghan, which is royalty versus celebrity. Is the stalking the direct result of the royal family, or simply a byproduct of being famous? A lot of famous people, and even not famous people or internet famous people, have stalkers. Where is the line? Because if the reasoning is just that he has a stalker, I would imagine that every celebrity with the same problem should be afforded the same taxpayer courtesy. Lauren the Insider, I'm absolutely livid about this decision. Absolutely livid. I think this is a left-wing government being snookered by Harry. I understand why Prince William will be ropeable about it. They all warned Harry that he would lose his security. What he is unfortunately proving, Lauren, is if he just continues to moan, continues to whine, continues to lie, he'll get what he wants. And it's
there
wrong.
are never any repercussions for Harry. He behaves in the most atrocious way.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all out working, and then, oh, there you go, there's our tax money, right? So we'll fund it. Oh, and we'll fund, all the illegal migrants coming over, and then we'll all probably crash our cars because there's so many potholes. If you live anywhere like me, it's an utter disgrace. But with this piece, Dan, when I read it, my alarm bells went off. Do I think it was leaked to potentially hold King Charles, over a barrel? Yes, but the very fact the Mail on Sunday ran this, they are in dangerous territory, because this steps into denotice territory. And that means that when there is a story about safety or national security, or a story involving the Home Office, media are sometimes issued a denotice so they can't run it. So the very fact the Mail on Sunday ran this story, and Harry is suing Associated Newspapers who own the Mail on Sunday, he is in the High Court with them on the 14th of January, which means he will land here at the latest on the 13th of January. To me, I believe that the Sussexes team would have had to show some form of proof to the Mail on Sunday, because the spotlight's on the Mail on Sunday. Yes, we know they run puff pieces, but the reason this wasn't a typical puff piece is because it includes the Home Office, it includes Revec and those kind of things. So for me, I believe Harry has had an early indication, because the very fact that he will land in a matter of days in the country, everything will be in place for his flight, his cars, his travel. So that's why I believe the Mail on Sunday on this occasion would have seen some proof. And I did a live about it. And then afterwards, I thought, well, I'll check because, I'll have a sounding board. I put a call into a contact within the palace, and they also believe that this was, the Mail on Sunday would have had to seen proof of this.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, as Evie Clark says, and thank you for the super chat, Evie, we should be paying for Rupert Lowe's protection. But Harry, there's no comparison. And I mean, that is the point. We've got a politician like Rupert Lowe in the United Kingdom who is actually receiving direct threats suggesting that he should be Charlie Kirk. Now, he's not getting that protection. Harry has a stalker. And Lauren, you just know if this
he doesn't have a stalker, does he?
Well, 100%. And let's just say that this stalker had been a real threat, had been armed, Lauren. We would know every detail about it. Team Sussex would have leaked every detail about it. It's actually so desperate that this is all they have. And the rest of it is just, we're meant to assume. It's really bad. We're meant to assume. And the point is, Lauren, Harry has security if there is a clear and present threat.
Yeah,
he has
but his ego wants security all the time. And, I've worked with people who have literally worked to just pay for their security. Security is a huge cost. The Kardashians will spend well over £1 million a year on security. It's huge. Evidently, Harry just doesn't want to pay for this security. To me, it looks like he knows exactly what he had to do to get the security. And, there's the narrative. Because I've said as well, you've seen him go through the official channels. Shabana Mahmood became Home Secretary on the 5th of September. And then in October, we see Harry put in this request. I believe he's been told, go through the official channels, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This is what you need to do to get it. And I have no faith in the Home Office. I have no faith in King Charles because I believe that King Charles has been working, behind the scenes with Harry, as we saw in July when the aides were meeting. This has been in the works, I'm afraid, for some time.
And the problem that we've got, Lauren, is that this is going to be a deeply, deeply unpopular decision in the United Kingdom, as Brittany from the Royal News Network pointed out. And I'll come to it in just a moment, but there is now a push from the left-wing mainstream media in the United Kingdom for a republic, a very clear and present push. And Prince William knows that one of the ways to protect the British monarchy is to officially thrust Harry out. And the fact that King Charles thinks that it's a good idea for his subjects, his people, to have to pay for his wayward son's security, I think shows that Charles is very out of touch with how the British people feel at the moment. The British people, Lauren, are very pro-monarchy on the whole, but they do not like what they're seeing at the moment from their king. We do not like it. We support the institution. Right now, it's pretty difficult to support the individual. And it's going to become even more difficult when it's clear that Charles wants us to pay for Harry's security. I mean, here's an idea, Charles. You could put your hand in your pocket, like you did for the first year. If you really believe that Harry deserves security, you pay for it then, privately. Because I don't believe the British public, Lauren, are going to be happy with the idea that we have to pay for this guy after everything that he said and done to us.
I agree.
It's not just the royal family he's attacked, it's Britain. It's Britain, it's the British people. We do not forget it.
But this is the problem with King Charles all over. King Charles only thinks the world of mainstream media exists, that is, brought in from the Royal Rota. He has no idea that there is a world outside of that because the Palisades keep it from him. And so the palace are yet again failing because there is public backlash. We shouldn't have to pay for this. And it makes the job incredibly hard for Catherine, Princess of Wales, and Prince William, who I believe will be incredible. But My word, Harry and Charles are making it near on impossible for them. They are alienating so many people. King Charles should pay for this, or better still, Harry should pay for it. He has earned millions and millions and millions of pounds. He's a greedy little grifter.
He really is. He really is. And William is aware of the risks facing the British monarchy. And I think Charles really needs to get his head in the game. And I hope that this year he will, as his cancer treatment is reduced. Because let's just look at what the fake news agents are pushing, Lauren. So this is, and I mean, they're terrible people, really terrible people, not patriots. You know, I'm talking about John Sopel, Emily Maitlis, and Lewis Goodall, who is now openly pushing Lauren. And of course, he can do this. We're a free country, but I just want to give an idea of where the mainstream media and the left are heading on this. And it is a full-on push for a Republic watch.
Will we ever see King William V, given everything going on around the royal family?
Yes, with a bit of luck, hopefully not. All I want for next Christmas is a Republic.
Oh, you're
Is it that
so
much to ask?
predictable.
Oh, I'm predictable, right, okay.
No, I'm unpredictable because I'm saying that I think that the royal family, with him as king, would change quite substantially. It would still be the royal family, but I think a lot of the flummery would go. I think it would become more Scandinavian, more slimmed down as a monarchy. I mean, what it does with the kind of the Duchy of Lancaster and the Duchy of Cornwall and all that sort of stuff. I mean, those are...
When they went around on their Caribbean tour, they basically, it looked so colonial. They were being carried around by local people there. I'm not sure I buy the idea that they're terribly modern, those two, the Prince and Princess of Wales.
The question from Laurie is, given everything going on around the royal family, I guess he's talking about the sort of demise of Andrew and the titles and all the rest of it. And the only thing I'd say, Laurie, is I think what happened with Andrew in the last 2 months was precisely to enable the sort of regrowth of the royal family in a totally different direction. I think that's what was at the front of the king's mind. I want to do this so that my son doesn't have to deal with it when he comes to the throne. So I don't know if that works, but I think there probably will be a King William V, don't we think?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so. I don't know if there'll be a King George VII, as in Prince George, whenever, presumably William becomes king and is around for
And we're
several
sort of
decades
thinking
hence.
lucky boy, aren't we? We're
Well,
thinking,
yeah,
get out,
I hope that
get out.
I hope the lad gets away from that gilded prison sentence, to be perfectly honest, because I think it'll be absolutely appalling for him, like it's been for the rest of them.
So I think that's a real warning to King Charles, Lauren, of where the mainstream media in the United Kingdom is heading.
The left are dangerous. The left and the mainstream media are truly dangerous. That's a disgusting way for them to speak about Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, and they will do amazing work. But the problem is King Charles is jealous of them, so they're limited as to what they can do. And Emily Maitlis, I believe we're still waiting for her to give her Press Gazette award back for Interview of the Year with Andrew. That was full of lies, I can't stand that woman.
No, very good point. Very good point. And I do think that this security story is going to be very bad for the British royal family. Charles needs to wake up, because what he's also doing, of course, is damning William to having his younger brother running a rival royal court in the United Kingdom. Because what else does he have to do, Lauren? That's the other issue here. Harry has nothing going for him in America. He has no work over there. He has no meaningful charity over there. His marriage is completely miserable. He is totally miserable. So unfortunately, this security decision means we will be seeing a hell of a lot of Harry in the United Kingdom. That is bad news for Prince William, who is trying to protect the monarchy.
Yeah, it's really, really concerning. I have concerns about how this will impact Catherine, because when I interviewed Tom Sykes, he spoke about the very pressure that Harry and Meghan and their behaviour had put on Catherine during her treatment and when she was recovering. And drama is everywhere that Harry and Meghan go. They can't be trusted. They leak stories left, right, and centre, and they don't even always leak, accurate. It's just propaganda. propaganda. They are like little children that are throwing their toys out of the pram. We have coped just fine without them. And whilst I know America don't want them, we certainly don't want them back. Sorry, America, but we've got enough stress going on here at the moment. If you could just keep them for a bit, we would be most grateful.
It's very true. Very true. Lauren, the Insider, thank you so much. And Lauren, I know you have to dash now because you've got a brilliant interview coming up on your Lauren, the Insider channel with Ben Habib, which I will be watching later this evening. So congratulations. Can't wait to see it. And of course, people can head to Lauren, the Insider to check it out. Lauren, thank you so much. And thank you for your company today. We're going to reveal today's Greatest Britain Union Jackass in just one moment. But first, huge amount of feedback from you. Thank you so much for your super chats. And the Crown Chronicles, thank you. Crown Chronicles says, Dan is the only one brave enough to call out what's really happening. The mainstream media is silent while Starmer ignores the core concerns of British citizens. Thank you for being outspoken. Well, I have to say, it's so good to be back. So good to be back live. I did have a wonderful break with my family, but it's all been boiling up inside me, the rage, as I saw what was going on with Starmer and Al Fatah. So I'm relieved to be back. And of course, we have Tommy Robinson on tomorrow's show. Tom Morkland says, Rupert Lowe is waiting to see whether the Tories make a comeback, possibly under Jenrick. Gerald Fisher says, Rupert Lowe is the real deal, much better than conform. We need radical change. Niall, P85, says, I never thought Bradford could get any worse. There's always people from the hotels carrying on in the city centre while you see more and more tents in town with homeless Brits inside. Just terrible. And then, of course, we were speaking about the Big Breakfast TV war, which has seen Mike Graham emerge victorious versus Jeremy Kyle and Talk TV on day one at least. But you're really divided over this one. Papan forces Mike smashed it out of the park, Dan, due in no small part to your encouragement. But I have to be honest, loads of you very angry with his point of view on Tommy Robinson. Juliet Johnson says, that's okay, Mike. It's your prerogative on Tommy. I have not and will never watch your independent show, probably sponsored by Reform UK. Fireman Phil says, I refuse to watch or support Mike Graham. Lauren is right. Please stop supporting Graham. Jenny Chilton said, Mike did too much touting for business this morning and his ignorance about Tommy puts me off big time. And Daniel Schofield says, Mike didn't write the Facebook post, but his mate Jack Daniels did the old pisshead. So, of course, if you want to watch Mike's response to all of that, and what Tommy Robinson had to say about him, the only major interview he did after his exit from Talk TV was here on Outspoken, and you can watch it in our YouTube archive. But now, let's reveal today's Greatest Britain and Union Jackass, a reminder of your nominees for the worst Briton in the world today. John Sopel for the Trump derangement syndrome. Femi Olawale for talking about Brexit on TikTok while doing shirtless pull-ups, revolting. And Bushra Sheikh, nominated by ScotFly23 for calling for Iran to build a nuke. In third position with 11% of the vote, John Sopel. The runner-up with 38% of your vote, Femi Olawale. But today's Union Jackass, the first of 2026, is Bushra Sheikh with 51% of your vote. And today's Greatest Britain, nominated by Matt Cass 48, Ant Middleton, who says, on Sadiq and grooming gangs for saying what we all think, these children aren't collateral in political games, they're children. And this cover-up shames us all, but more so the people who knew and could have stopped it. And of course, Ant Middleton was very happy to make the top 20 in our special countdown of the Greatest Britons of 2025, which we broadcast over my little Christmas break.
United States President Donald Trump is facing growing international backlash after signaling that he is seeking to acquire Greenland from Denmark and refusing to rule out the use of military force to secure the Arctic territory. The move has intensified tensions between Washington and European allies as the American leader continues to frame Greenland as a strategic national security priority. European governments, including France, Germany, Italy, Poland, Spain, the United Kingdom, and Denmark, have united in opposition, stressing that Greenland's future must be decided solely by its people and the Danish kingdom. Officials in Washington have confirmed that the administration is exploring multiple options, including the possibility of purchasing the mineral-rich island or establishing a form of free association. While senior figures have attempted to downplay the likelihood of military action, the White House has acknowledged that the use of armed force remains an option available to the president. The issue has triggered an emergency response in Copenhagen, where Denmark's parliament is holding an extraordinary foreign policy meeting to assess the escalating threat of annexation. Danish leaders have warned that any attack on Greenland would represent an unprecedented assault on a North Atlantic Treaty Organization member and could effectively dismantle the alliance's collective security framework. British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has publicly aligned the United Kingdom with Denmark, reinforcing the position that Greenland is not for sale and that its sovereignty must be respected. Other European leaders have echoed this stance, emphasizing that an attack on one alliance member would be treated as an attack on all. The controversy follows renewed American focus on the Arctic, a region increasingly viewed as a geopolitical flashpoint due to its untapped natural resources and strategic missile routes between North America and Russia. Greenland's location places it at the center of growing competition involving the United States, China, and Russia. The United States already operates a key military installation on the island, which plays a vital role in missile defense and Arctic surveillance. American officials argue that control of the region is essential to counter expanding Chinese and Russian influence. The situation has sparked outrage in both Denmark and Greenland, with diplomats reminding Washington of long-standing defense cooperation between the two nations. Despite mounting criticism, the White House has shown no sign of retreat, suggesting the dispute over Greenland is far from resolved.